What's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood HugKnuckles back again with another reaction video. As always, by my side, HottSamn. And today we're coming at you with "Don't Stay in School" by Boy in a Band. This was actually a request from quite a while back. I think from our dude Shiku-sama.
Oh, nice.
So I wanted to get into this and check this out, see what's going down.
Let's do it.
Don't stay in school.
I wasn't taught how to get a job, but I can remember dissecting a frog. I wasn't taught how to pay tax, but I know loads about Shakespeare's classics. I was never taught how to vote. They devoted that time to defining isotopes. I wasn't taught how to look after my health, but mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Never spent a lesson on current events. Instead, I studied the old American West. I was never taught what laws there are. I was never taught what laws there are. Let me repeat, I was not taught the laws for the country I live in, but I know how Henry VIII killed his women. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. Glad that's in my head instead of financial advice. I was shown the wavelengths of different hues of light.
Yeah, it is.
I was never taught my human rights. Apparently there's 30. Do you know them? I don't. Why the hell can't we both recite them by rote? I know igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks, yet I don't know squat about trading stocks or how money works at all. Where does it come from? How does the thing that motivates the world function? Not taught to budget and disperse my earnings. I was too busy there rehearsing cursive. Didn't learn how much it costs to raise a kid and what an affidavit is, but I spent days on what the quadratic equation is. A to B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. They made me learn that over basic first aid, or how to recognize the most deadly mental disorders or diseases with preventable causes, or how to buy a house.
I'm getting like goosebumps. Like it's not that type of performance either.
Was deemed more important than advice that would literally save thousands of lives. But it's cool, because now I could tell you if the number of unnecessary deaths caused by that choice was prime. Never taught present-day practical medicines, but I was told what the ancient Hippocratic method is. I've got a headache, the pain is ceaseless, what should I take? Maybe try some leeches? Could we discuss domestic abuse and get the facts, or how to help my depressed friend with a mental state? No, but learn mental maths, because you won't have a calculator with you every day. They say it's not the kids, the parents are the problem. Then if you taught the kids to parent, that's the problem solved then. Or this advice about using a condom, but not for when you actually have a kid when you want one. I'm only fluent in this language. I'm serious, the rest of the world speaks too. Do you think I'm an idiot? To chose the solo over the political system, so like a typical citizen now I don't know what I'm voting on. Which policies exist or how to make them change me. Oui, je parle un peu de français. So at 18 I was instructed to elect a representative for a system I had never ever been presented with. But I won't take it. I'll tell everyone my childhood was wasted. I'll share it everywhere how I was educated, and insist these pointless things.
Oh my god, this is like...
Yeah.
This is like everything inside of me.
I totally agree, though. I totally agree. It wasn't until, like...
Yo. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% agree. So I think what it was in our live stream, I was talking about the educational system. Because there's some stuff that, like, is just basic information that people don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like, I don't know, just moving from high school to college, I realized how much, like, my school failed me. Because, like, there was so much that I just didn't know at all. And, like... Pardon me.
See,
and I'm just so emotional. Like
some of the stuff that he was talking about, though, like I did learn. Like I think it depends on when you went to school, where you went to school. Like there's not equality or equity between all high schools. Not all are the same, depending on your location and the type of area you live in. If it's more affluent or poor, you get access to different things. So like. We had computer classes and stuff like that, and we had electives in government and law and stuff like that. But you had like coding classes and whatever else you said was offered at. Like, what were some of your electives you took for high school?
Band.
I thought you said there was like weird electives that I was like, wow, they teach that. at your high school? I can't remember some of the stuff you were telling me.
Agricultural.
Yeah,
agriculture and
like
ag
that's
and
weird to
wood
me.
shop and
Well, wood shop we had, like wood shop, metal shop, but like agriculture.
animal science.
Yeah, like that I would have no idea. But you're from a more rural area.
Yeah, we're like farming. That was a blow off class. Let me tell you about that. I ain't cared about the tops of cows. I just want to eat me a burger. You know
Also,
what I'm saying?
some of the depending on where you're at, I think the foreign language classes are different.
Yeah, all we had was Spanish, but I know a lot of places had French. Like you
We
had French.
I think
we didn't have
some
French
places had
offered.
German as well, but some places have like Arabic and
The
you know,
only
other
thing that
languages,
was offered
Chinese,
for us
Mandarin.
was Spanish. Now they do, I think they do something else now at my school, but back then it was, you know.
And I remember talking about wanting when we eventually have children to like self-educate.
Yeah.
You know, homeschool.
Yeah.
I guess or whatever.
Just because of like, one, the things that I think like that public school failed me on, and two, just people are mean. People are so mean in school. But anyway,
And,
that's kind of off subject.
Well, the other thing is, that's the thing I'm afraid of. You can't shelter the kids because, like, that's easy for homeschools. Like, kids end up, like, not able to deal in social situations.
Yeah.
Because I've had some friends that were integrated, like, for some grades and then homeschool for the rest, and they were more like...
Yeah, no, I totally
they
get
could
that.
handle
I had a
social
friend that was
situations
completely
better.
homeschooled, and I was like, he needs, like, to go to school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like he needs social skills. Like, he had absolutely none. And so, like, I think in that situation, like, yes, I don't want to, like, shelter them, but definitely, like, by like, kids are mean, I mean, like, sometimes other kids can take away from that learning experience because, like, you're focused too much on, like, bullies or whatever.
Just personally...
That's just my personal experience, you know?
Well, like, just personally, to put it in my perspective, I learned at a very early age because I was funny, it was more rewarding socially to be funny than to be smart.
Yeah.
So I immediately went from a straight A student to, like, I wouldn't go to class, like, I would jack around and mess around.
Mm-hmm.
I failed a class in high school, and they wanted me to be in the honors level class the next year, even though I had failed.
Yeah.
Because they knew I had the aptitude, but I wasn't applying myself.
Right.
And it's like, I feel like public education, the system will fail you in that way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because if you're smart enough, if you know the content and you just don't want to do your homework because it's too easy for you, like in your situation, yeah, that's not your fault. Like, you shouldn't have failed. I think that's when the school should have stepped in and, like, taken your case, like, under, like, a more, like, individual, like, you know, way, and, like, they should have, like, evaluated you and moved you.
Well, if you
into
went
the
just
more
based
advanced
off
classes.
standardized testing, I was always in, like, the top percentile, like, either between the top 5 or top 10%.
And see, that says something if you're gonna be failing classes and stuff, and like.
But when we're talking about certain things, like, I never learned about taxes. Also, I'm the first male in my family who graduated from high school, so that was a big thing for me personally, and it was a weird thing going to college. The idea, the concept of going to college wasn't, I don't know, I never really thought about it until it was time to do it, and I'd kind of blown it off because I had never really had a plan. My mom and dad didn't really know about it. My sister was the only one who had gone to college out of everybody that I would have been connected to. So, like, how to apply for scholarships and stuff like that. Like, I guess you could go and search out that information.
That's just so, there's thousands and, like.
But you could do that for anything. I could search out math information if I wanted to. I could go to Khan Academy and learn it online.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, that should be integrated into, the learning experience. How to pay taxes. How to be a good citizen.
Yeah.
Should be, like, just basic rules of humanity. Like, how to be somebody in a
teach me about credit.
Civilized society.
Like, how to, like,
how
work,
credit
like,
works.
how credit works. Like, I didn't know
I remember,
that.
like, I got taught how to do, because this is going to show I'm a little bit older, but, like, how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
Somebody did teach us that. They gave us, like, a fake checkbook, and we went over that.
We
But even
did
then,
that.
I think that was in my gifted class. I don't even think that was in my normal class.
We did that in my normal classes, but also, like.
I was going to say, you're a little young, I would think, for checkbooks.
No, I had checks.
Yeah, well, I'm just
I
saying,
used
like...
to write checks whenever I first, like, got my first bank account and everything.
I think of checks and I'm like, man, that's so like forever.
Whenever I worked at
now.
Walmart, is like, and that was like my senior year of high school. That's when checks were like still being written, but like it was like super
electronic.
It was starting
checks.
to become more and more rare. Yeah.
Word. I don't know. I feel very deeply about a lot of these subjects, especially like things like mental health. First aid, I didn't even think about that. First aid should definitely be taught. Like, I don't remember learning anything about basic first aid in high school at all. We both actually have learned outside of school. We were both first aid, like CPR and AED certified and stuff like that. But that was for work.
Yeah, and I did get CNA certified in high school. And then they later made it like where it was a program through my high school. It wasn't, I didn't do it through my high school, but it later became a part of my high school where you could do that as kind of like an extra option, but you still have to pay for it. I don't know how exactly it works because I wasn't there, you know, but I heard through the grapevine kind of thing.
I don't know. I just think that the way that the education system is, it's so varied as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one standard for public education. So for what we're saying may be true for us and where we went to school and the time that we went to school. But I know, like, I have a friend that works in the charter schools in California. Like, I imagine things are very different in the charter schools because I've heard great things about charter schools.
Yeah. Like, where we have agricultural science because, like, I live in, like, small town Texas where farming is cool, and then you were like,
farming is cool.
You know, you didn't have that because you don't live in like you live in like near the city.
See, but the thing is, I also didn't live that far from like farmland because I lived like equidistant.
You live like farmland, like as far as like we grow crops. We live in like farmland, like we raise cattle. You know
that's just the difference in what the states do. Illinois is like. Corn,
that's why I'm saying that I
producer.
had agriculture.
Well,
animal science.
Animal science, yeah. But I'm saying I'm surprised I didn't have anything like for agriculture, because Illinois' like biggest thing is corn.
You may have, you just don't remember.
It could be. I just don't remember seeing it. The first time I remember seeing it
maybe
was
you
when
just
I was.
Didn't care about it, you know.
Well, I was gonna say the first time I remember ever seeing it as something that was an elective was in college. Was like when I was going through electives for community college. But anyway, I don't know. I think that's the hardest part of tackling this is there's no like standard when it comes to education.
But I think all in all there's like an overall agreement that there's more that should be taught that's like more real life
skills.
Yeah. Because like granted like okay, big deal. It's we learned about cows and you didn't have that opportunity, but whenever like it really comes down to it like
I don't need that. Neither of us need that information.
Yeah, like the real stuff, like politics and stuff. Like I didn't learn about that. I didn't.
See, I took law class. They offered a law elective that I took.
Yeah.
And I took all the government classes that I could.
Yeah. See, I didn't care
about it. But I'm into history. I'm into law. Like I'm more into that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know that everybody was offered a law class in high school.
I just feel like math equations and stuff. It's like. Unless you want to go and do that with your life, I don't think you should be forced to do it. I don't feel like you should be forced to learn all those equations and stuff whenever. Like I do not use that ever, and I never will.
Yeah,
and if I want to, I can Google how to do it. I can figure it out, or use my phone, or I can literally say. I can literally Google what is the square root of this number, and it'll tell me. Like I don't even need a calculator. You're like.
Yep. And there's a calculator built into Google. So, like, there's endless options.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's one of the most beneficial things for me, and I'm going to close up with this, was, like, in that law class, because I'm thinking about, like, how he said people don't know the basic rights. I don't know the 30 basic rights.
Yeah.
But I do know, our law professor was all about being uneducated of your rights is why you don't get to exercise them. Like, that's where I learned they can't search my car without a warrant. That's where I learned, like, I have due process of the law. Like, and
whereas, like, if some cop, like, tried to, like, get at me and, like search my car without a warrant or something, I'd be like, yes, sir. Yeah. And it's like, I would have had the right to say no. But I wouldn't know that I had that right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, our teacher drilled into us, these are your rights. You need to know, what you can what is your power in the situation? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing is they need to put more personal power into the school. Things that empower you as a person and not necessarily stuff that's you could potentially need one day.
And then I do
but
agree,
something
like,
you absolutely do need to know as
the
a
whole
person.
part, like, as far as, like, sex ed goes, it's like I feel like
That
all
is a
they
good
did
point,
was
yeah.
just like they just like drilled into your head, like, if you have sex you're going to get a STD, and if you don't use condom, or even if you do use one, you could have kids, and that's terrible because they're so expensive. And it's like, people grow up and like that's how the world goes on, as they have kids.
See,
like,
I think that could be drastically different though, our sex ed and your sex ed. But then again, you're from like conservative Texas. I was gonna say, because ours, like, they showed us things of childbirth, and it was more about like, we know you're gonna have sex, we know this is what's gonna happen.
That's not what happened at all.
Just be safe.
It was like,
and
they showed us pictures of STDs.
Way before you, yeah.
They showed us
We
pictures,
didn't see pictures
of like
STDs.
what your hoo-hoo could look like if you got herpes or
Your
whatever on
your
it.
wangle-dangle.
Yeah, or a wangle-dangle. And they separated the girls and the boys.
We didn't get separated.
See, we were separated, so the girls looked at hoo-hoos and wangle-wangles, and
I don't remember
I don't
if they
know what the
separated
guys
us
looked
for
at.
that, but...
And the teacher, she literally wore dangle earrings that were tampons.
Oh my god.
Because she was such a trip. Like, she made it fun. But literally all she said was, like, if you do this, then you're
So
going
did
to
they
get
preach
an
abstinence?
STD. And yeah.
Was that... See, they didn't do that. But then again, highly liberal Illinois outside Chicago, central
super
heart of
like,
conservative Texas.
And it, like, scared people, and like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what their goal was, I think, just to scare people. And then it's like you realize, like, I'm gonna get married one day and I'm gonna have kids, like, you know, like, I mean, come on.
Get a dab for the
Well, whatever.
eventually have kids.
Anyway.
All right, we've gone on quite a bit, but it's because this is a very important topic. It's a very broad topic. There's a lot of stuff I know that I've talked about in the past, and I'm just not able to recall at the moment.
I'm very passionate about this just because I was so failed.
I wanted to be an
school.
educator for a long time, but I would prefer to do YouTube because you can educate through YouTube, and I feel like it's a really good tool for that. Like Boy in a Band is doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like this guy.
I want to see more stuff from him. The only thing I knew about him before this was the iDubbbz. He was on the diss track. He wrote the diss track against Rice Gum for iDubbbz.
Oh, really? That's legit.
I don't know if you remember seeing him, but we'll go watch that in a second so you can be like, oh, that's that dude. Right. Well, let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Like it if you did. If you don't sub, you should.
You should.
If you do, thank you very much. We'll be back with more videos for you soon. We love you guys.
Make sure you enter in for that
$50 gift card giveaway.
It's in the description. Go down there now. Bye.
Bye.